Friday, and that means it's 7:05 sports time with Jacob and Colette. How are you?
Doing good. Glad it's Friday, because
me too.
Crazy week. I'm having a little bit of the shakes. The Leafs haven't played since Sunday.
Oh, you're going through withdrawal.
I'm going through Toronto Maple Leaf withdrawal.
Aww. Well, listen, there's a ton of stuff we need to cover.
There is.
Although, we are looking forward to Sunday's game, for sure.
We are.
But let's start with the NBA. Please, let's not talk about this Raptors, because I know that you're a big Raptors fan, and I know you're not happy with them right now.
It's been a tough stretch for Toronto, because they went on a huge losing streak, which they're still on, but Dan Gray and I talked about this last week.
Yeah.
I'm not happy that the NBA forced the Raptors to even play. Because 60% of their lineup was out with COVID. If that was the Lakers or the Heat or any other American market, don't worry, you won't play. Toronto, get out there.
Yeah, I know, and hello, we're champions here, so we should have a say.
And
right?
Unfortunately for Toronto now, they've slipped to 11th in the conference. Now, there's no need to panic if I'm a Raptor fan, which I am. I'm not panicking.
Yes, you are.
The Raptors have gone to many sources saying Kyle Lowry is not on the trade block. I wish media would stop going on. Kyle Lowry is not going anywhere. He's sitting, his feet's not up, he's working hard.
Even though he's got his house for sale or sold or what, you know?
But he's in Tampa.
Yeah,
if you were in Tampa, would you keep your house in the sewer right now?
No, I think I'd rather be in Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
Good point.
For the Raptors, trade deadline's next week.
Yeah.
So they're either doing one of two things. Getting it big to fix their rebounding, doing nothing.
Okay.
Keeping the team the way it is.
All right.
I say they don't make a move.
Well, okay. Well,
I wish they would, but I think the prices on bigs are too high. Like Norman Powell's been in the conversation, the guy who's been playing arguably one of our best players in the past 2 months. I don't think the Raptors should trade him at all.
Okay.
So I say a 705 guarantee. Norman Powell's not going anywhere. Kyle Lowry's not going anywhere. The team doesn't blow up, and more than likely they don't make a move.
Okay, so, but what's going on with all the losses then? Should we not make any changes to to fix these losses, or is it a coaching?
We have. The lineup's back.
Okay. Well.
In the last game, I know they lost the last game by 4 points.
Yeah, that's respect.
It was close.
Yeah.
We got out-rebounded pretty bad again, but this was again, Van Vliet, Siakam were both their first games back, and CFO Giannoblி since and Van Vliet actually did have COVID. He's came out and talked about having COVID-19, saying, it was a very difficult thing to deal with and he wouldn't wish it on his worst enemy. So, I mean, we don't know if these other guys had it or not, but either way, these guys aren't in mid-season form now. I say give them the week. The Raptors are going to go on a winning streak very soon.
Well, yeah, let's be honest. I mean, you're coming off a COVID-19, your infection. I think you're going to be a little bit drained.
You are.
It's going to take you a little bit to get back to where you were pre-being infected. So, okay, let's move along. Canadian Football League. I am a Hamilton Tiger-Cats fan. You are a Toronto Argonauts fan. I know. That... Other than that, we both agree that CFL should be funded, should be bailed out, should be, I mean, it's the Canadian Football League.
They bail everything else out.
Yes, it's an opportunity for great football players who aren't making the NFL. It's a Canadian Football League. We should be helping them out.
So basically, the CFL made a statement earlier in the week, and I talked about it on the news, but just going a little more in details. The season will not be canceled this year.
Good.
They already made that clear because the United Football Association, they've been starting some rumors, some allegations saying there's a possibility the season will be canceled. There is one very positive thing I will say about the CFL in the last, I would say, 3 weeks. Do you remember this much buzz around the CFL?
No, never at all. And like the Ticats have been in the Grey Cup finals a few times, same with the Argos. I mean, there's never any press around
Did that hurt you to say that?
A little bit. It kind of felt like vinegar in my mouth. Yeah. Yeah, cyanide.
But I'm happy to see the CFL is a go.
Yeah.
I don't see them in the XFL joining up together for a league, at least not this year, because the XFL, they're saying more 2022, CFL saying now. So we're getting a season this year, whether it starts right on time or it's a couple weeks late.
Okay. Well, a couple weeks late is not too bad considering all the other leagues.
Better than no league at all, and then we cry.
Yeah, and we get to the OHL. We'll have more on that too, coming up shortly. Anything else on the CFL before we move on to Daryl Sutter?
I think that's it I have on the CFL. But let's get into the NHL with two coaches, with Daryl Sutter. And I'll admit, we'll roll the clip. I think I agree with the firing. I don't know if I agree with the hiring.
With the hiring. So the firing process, Jacob gives 2 thumbs up. The firing process. The hiring process might be giving that 2 thumbs down.
I made a mistake. Daryl Sutter has only lost 1 game as a head coach so far.
right.
It's going to be 2 tonight.
You were not happy with that coaching place.
I wasn't, but he seems to have done a good job of getting his guys going.
Yeah.
Mind you, he needs to learn how to put on a mask. It's always under his nose. I'm surprised the NHL hasn't said anything to him about it yet. But, he's been doing a good job. Buffalo now, though, has followed suit with all the Canadian teams, and now they have fired their head coach.
Okay.
They're in the middle of now a 13-game losing streak, and they can't score. They lost again to Boston on Thursday night.
Yeah.
It was
What was the score in that game?
4-1.
Oh, in Boston.
I know, that hurt me a bit seeing. But
Right.
I think the Sabres, they're going to blow up. I think they're going to be asking Taylor Hall. I think, this isn't confirmed, but there's been rumors they're asking Taylor Hall about his no-move clause, and Eichel as well, meaning their 2 star players could be gone.
Okay.
I think it's time for Buffalo to admit that this rebuild didn't work and start over.
Start over. Okay. I know you have a Leafs rant that you want to go on. Do we have time for that? Should we start it right now? Why not? What's your Leafs?
We'll start.
Okay, let's go. Buckle up, guys. Buckle up. Let's go.
So, Mike, right here. Thank you, Mike. Now, the Leafs lose 5 out of their last 6. Tavares still isn't scoring 5-on-5. Matthews still isn't at 100%. Anderson looks shaky in all the games against Winnipeg, even the 1 game they won. So they go into Ottawa on Sunday. Hutchinson, I'm not saying he played well, but allows 2 goals on 3 shots. We're going to pull him right away, even though, mind you, Anderson just played like crap. But no. You're okay. Then, so you know what? Now let's blame Jimmy VC, the $900,000 bottom 6 forward. Oh, we're going to put him on waivers. Now Vancouver's got him.
Yeah.
So now we just gave up a cap-free contract, and we got Bubkus. Nothing.
Bubkus. And he was a great player too.
He
Like
was
you said, he
playing
fell
well.
within the salary cap, well under the salary cap, and was providing some solid hockey for the team. I agree with you on that one.
And now, Simmons looks like he's coming back. The 4th line.
I saw that.
Why?
We discussed this. I know.
I'm interested to see, and this might be the only positive.
Yeah.
Galchenyuk is now coming up to the Leafs. He has 8 points in 6 games with the Marlies.
Yeah.
He's actually been fighting. He's been hitting. He's been over a point per game player. So now he's going up to the 2nd line with Tavares and Nylander.
Okay.
But Toronto, wake up. Leaf Nation, number 1. I think we're over panicking, but at the same time, I'm saying it to the players. Maybe Sheldon Keefe isn't blaming the top 6, but I'm blaming the top 6.
Okay.
You guys need to step up. I know Matthews has been injured, but I'm looking at Marner, I'm looking at Tavares, I'm looking at Nylander, I'm looking at Thornton. I can't really say Hyman. The guy's been
He's awesome.
I mean, no matter what line you put him on, he does something.
Yeah. Well, you know my thoughts on Nylander, so whatever.
See, I still like Nylander,
Yeah.
and mind you, he's out of the top 6. You do realize he has the most points of late for Toronto.
All right.
But
Still doesn't change my opinion.
I still feel if we were going to get rid of a guy, we should have let Enval go and keep VC.
Okay.
Mind you, Enval's looked good on the 3rd line, but now they're going to have Kerfoot on the 3rd line with Mikheyev and Hyman.
Okay, okay. And I don't understand why they have Simmons way down at the bottom.
I don't know why we still have Kerfoot
I don't know.
in general.
I don't know.
$3.5 million for a 3rd line center on a team that doesn't. We're maxed to the cap. Now we'll talk about this in the 3rd segment, but Kerfoot is on my trade list on potential trade players. I think he's going to be a hard contract to move because. Maybe I'm biased because they traded Kadri to get Kerfoot. Yeah. And I watched Colorado.
There's a name from the past, eh?
And I watched the way Nazem Kadri plays.
Yeah.
And I think, Colette, you'd agree, a single tier.
Yes.
Goes down the cheap.
I might even have 2 tiers.
Maybe even 2.
I like Kadri a lot.
I miss Kadri. But it's one of those things, I think for Toronto, this is a must-win game tonight against the Flames. Again, 3rd segment, we're going to get into that more.
Yes, we will.
And one quick thing before we go to break. Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off there.
That's okay. That's fine.
Jack Campbell is skating again and practicing in a full contact jersey.
Yes, good.
However, if I'm the Leafs, which I'm not.
But we seem to, as a Leaf fan, we do take ownership in our team.
Yes, we own 0.000000001%.
That's right.
But I don't want Campbell playing against the Flames.
No.
Reason being is that's where he got hurt last time.
Yeah.
The Flames are going to run him over.
Yeah.
Hutchinson, I know he had that last bad start, but I also think you should give him a chance to redeem himself because you give Anderson a chance every time he has a bad game.
Yeah.
And I don't like the double standards, but Did you know we've already gone over 9 minutes?
We have, but well, your rant. I mean, it was.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, we knew that rant was coming. But that's okay. So we will be right back with some OHL updates and with some women's hockey. Stay with us.
Don't click it, Mike. It's a scam.
Oh, hi, Voice of Reason. It looks legit.
Don't click. Listen to your voice of reason before you act.
I deleted it.
Canada.ca/bscamsmart can help.
Welcome back to 705 Sports with myself, and this time Colette. Thank you for coming back this week.
No
Happy to see you
problem.
again. But we got a lot to talk about for the local segment, so
We absolutely
I
do.
will pass the metaphorical speaking stick.
I got the conch. It's my turn. This conch is going to start with the OHL. Now, still no start date, but we're hoping that will come out within the next, I would say, week if they want to have somewhat of a season. We're already at the end of March almost. We did hear a while ago, April 2nd to the 4th. Possibly that was the start date. We're not confirming that. We are just having a conversation. So the Ontario Hockey League is exceptionally proud, though, of its player experience. Now, earlier this week, Minister of Sport, Tourism and Culture, Lisa MacLeod, she made a few announcements this week.
She did.
But she announced $2.35 million in support of an OHL scholarship program. Now, what does that mean? That means that during the 2019-2020 academic year, there were 334 OHL graduates accessing their scholarship at a cost to OHL member teams of $3.125 million. So of these 334 graduates, 200 were included on U Sports men's hockey rosters. In addition, current OHL players access a total of $475,000. So the OHL and its members team continue to honor scholarship commitments, which, again, we've had this conversation. If you watch the Olympics, let's just pull away from the O for a second. You watch the Olympics, you see that the United States of America pump a lot of money into their athletes. They pump a lot of money into their scholarship dollars to prepare them to stand on the gold medal podium. Okay, now I understand we're not talking Olympics, we're not talking world, but if you want your OHL teams and you want the Ontario Hockey League to blossom and flourish and have a lot of people in attendance,
Success.
you need to put money into that program, and the scholarship program is exactly what was released today. So very happy with Minister MacLeod's announcement, recognizing the importance of the program and the players. Excuse me. They're also putting money into local sports too.
Which is great.
In the last year, kids have not had a lot of extracurricular activity, so they are pumping money back into recreational sports. As you know, a lot of our local sports rely on donations. They rely on fundraising stuff. So that has been a big hindrance. Okay, now let's go over to our Greyhounds. First of all, earlier this week, we reported on our Greyhounds having the best logo in the OHL. So let's talk a little about that. In a recent Hockey Writers article, the Sioux Greyhounds were given the top position in the unique category of having the best logo in the O. I personally agree. I know we were talking about this on the morning show, and Heidi says, well, you know, is a Greyhound actually faster than a wolf because we're comparing them to Sudbury Wolves? Yes, the Greyhound is in fact 10 kilometers per hour faster than the wolf. So, other than that, facts, factoid. Now, the only way we could be better is if we were called the Stallions, because a stallion goes 80 kilometers an hour. But that's another story for another day. We're sticking with the Greyhounds. So Jewel, who wrote the article, Dave Jewel, is based out of Windsor. He saw something, they were ranking the Sioux Greyhounds, or the OHL teams.
OHL teams.
So he's like, you know what? No, let's rank their logos. Why not? So anyway, back in late February, he saw an article on Facebook that had just ranked the OHL jerseys as well. The author wasn't from the Great Lakes area. So he says some of the results made him scratch his head a little bit, like, what is this person talking about? So he decided it was a good opportunity to see what he could come up with instead of the full jersey. He went with just the logos. Okay, so top 5. We know the Greyhounds are number 1. Who do you think number 2 is?
That's a tough one. I really like the Guelph Storm logo.
Me too.
I think it's a really, really sharp logo. Hamilton Bulldogs.
Yes.
I love that logo. I would say, maybe I'm a little biased here, but my Barrie Colts.
I knew you were going to say Barrie Colts.
Well, you know what?
Well,
I can say it.
And the answer is
excuse me.
The answer is 300 kilometers away. So the Sudbury Wolves top to number 2. Ottawa 67s were number 3.
Sorry.
And Peterborough Petes, I have to say, now their logo is just the P-E-T-E-S with a hockey stick, right? Like, as far as I know my nephew was drafted to the Petes. That's okay. We love Peterborough Petes.
But I was
But I
surprised
don't
that
know.
one was ranked
I
so
don't know
high.
about that choice. I'm confused. And the Oshawa Generals topped it off at 5.
That really confused
The
me.
Schwiggity Schwa Generals. What's
Because
up with that?
it's just basically a cool font, more
Right?
or less. Like,
Hey.
I'm no graphic designer,
Yeah.
but like,
Come on.
I'm not a big fan of their logo. I think it needs a refresh.
Totally agree. The Hamilton Bulldogs.
I love their logo.
Let me tell you something. They used to be red and blue because we were the hub from Montreal. Now, but Hamilton, my hometown, we're known as black and yellow, Hamilton Tiger
All right, Wiz
Cats, black
Khalifa.
and yellow. So we've changed to black and yellow. So Hamilton should be on there. And I'll throw the Barry Colts in for good measure because of my co-host.
You know what? I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Now let's go over to some girls hockey, junior Greyhound girls hockey team. The U18, just so it gives some information, the U18A team, Sioux Junior Greyhounds girls, their mission is to provide a healthy and safe and respectful environment for female players. So we want to thank them for doing that and continuing to bring on all these wonderful girls in hockey. The latest girl we need to congratulate is one of the graduating players, Michaela Sewell, for accepting a position with the women's hockey program at Lake Superior State U. So way to go. So
Awesome.
2021-22 season. Good luck, Michaela. We'll be following you. If you need any
That
information.
sounds creepy. We'll be fine.
No, it's not. Oh, now I feel like a creeper. Were you watching you, Michaela?
I kid.
Well, geez. Anyways, good luck. We are happy. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm going to move on. Go to SiouxGirlsHockey.ca for all your girls hockey info. That includes our Wildcats from U9 to U13. And the Sioux Junior Greyhounds women's hockey is U11 to U18. Okay, so we've agreed that the Sioux Greyhounds have the best logo. And honestly, I really do feel that they do.
You know, so do I.
It's cool. It's cool. Let's go to another awesome logo. The Thunderbirds, the NOJHL's Thunderbirds. They are presently playing the Blind River Beavers for, I think, maybe the 14th time. I mean, like, it's
At least they're getting games in.
absolutely. No, that is true, Jacob. You're absolutely right. I didn't mean to be negative. I apologize. But I mean, it's just like, I'm a big Thunderbirds fan. Anyways, they just won game 2 of the COVID Cup. Now, the COVID Cup is what they're doing in place of a regular season, a regular playoff series.
Because they had to cancel the playoffs this year, unfortunately.
Absolutely. And I will say again, the NOJHL has done an amazing job keeping in with the measures and procedures of COVID-19. There's been several times where the teams have come down with COVID-19 and they've called it. So
They've
way to
done
go.
a great job with that. And I mean, it's so important
Absolutely.
too. These players are getting development at an age where they really need it, unlike the O.
Yeah,
which I'm really
exactly.
happy to see. At least there is another minor league that's been able to step up.
Absolutely. Okay, so last Sunday, the Thunderbirds beat the Beavers 8-4. Game 2 last night, Thunderbirds prevail 4-2.
The Thunderbirds are doing a good job. They've been getting some strong goaltending. They've been getting a lot of scoring. Saw in the last game, their goalie made 41 saves.
41 saves.
41 saves, which is just awesome to see.
Are playing Game 3. Game 3 is in Blind River. That much I do know, but we'll be right back after this commercial break.
When social distancing, remember, stay at least 6 feet away and wear your mask. Help save lives.
Welcome back. It's Friday, like we said, and you are with Jacob and Colette on 705 Sports with Jacob and Colette. How coincidental. Just like the logo says.
It's almost like the
Hey,
title
what about
makes
our
sense.
logo? I wonder what we'd rank. Number 1, absolutely. Number 1.
course.
We are the only local sports program on television. So let's get to the NHL trade deadline.
So this is going to be a very odd NHL trade deadline. We have a lot of things that are in motion at the moment. Kind of surprised we didn't see any moves, especially from the Leafs this week, because if any Canadian team makes a move with an American team, the player has to quarantine for 14 days.
Good point.
Now, the NHL is working on getting that to 7. I'm just being honest with you, I don't see it happening because you would need federal public health, provincial public health, and then public health for each individual area to all agree.
And then with the way that our framework works here in Ontario, right, or say you're whatever province you're going to, there's zones, there's different areas of
Exactly. That's an even better point I didn't even think of. So let's say they're going to Toronto, which I believe is in a red zone.
Well, Ottawa's definitely in a red zone.
Ottawa's in a red
But they
zone.
should, because nobody cares about the Senators. Sorry, I had to say it. Sorry. Back to your very educated section. I'm sorry.
But the Leafs did try to make a move this week. I've heard from sources that they were gunning for either Taylor Hall or Matthias Ekholm. However, the price was too high. Rumors have been it was a William Nylander going the other way, plus prospects and picks.
Okay.
Which I don't think either one of these guys are worth that. And I mean, let's be honest, for the Leafs too, they're looking for more of a cap-friendly player.
Oh, yeah. Well, they just let one go.
I know. Now, I'm going to say what I've been saying. I think I said this over a month ago.
We'll have to check
Bobby
the tape.
Ryan
Bobby Ryan.
would be such a nice fit. He's ranked 16th here on my potential players to be moved.
Okay.
Like from highest expectancy and like what most teams are going for and so on and so forth. But like I think he'd be a great fit because they keep saying get a top 6 forward, which I don't feel that is the issue with this team. To be honest, I'm still okay if the Leafs don't make a move.
You said that, yeah. You don't think, what about defense? I mean, I know we've talked about this for years. The Leafs have always needed a stronger defense. I do think that
It's the best it's been in a while.
100%, I agree with you. But I think what you said, maybe we just need to motivate our Matthews and our Tavareses more so than to bring new.
Now, if we do go for a defenseman, we have some nice defensemen here on our list. I mean, I'm liking maybe a Colin Miller from Buffalo. We could trade The Leafs have said they're willing to go all in, so draft picks and prospects. They're willing to now part ways with. So we might see like a Nick Robertson or Rasmus Sandin or Lindgren maybe on the way out.
Okay.
I mean, I think the Leafs, it's a 50-50 on whether they do anything or not. They're pressed against the cap. And honestly, I think for the Canadian teams in general, the North Division, I don't think you're going to see a lot of trading within the division because it's so close. Like, I mean, even from Ottawa, who's down at the basement, I'm waiting for your little grin.
Sorry.
And then Toronto, who's at the top, it's only like a 12-point difference, which
No,
is
you're saying
very unheard of normally.
Yeah.
So I don't see teams in the North wanting to trade with each other because if you're Toronto, do you want to help Winnipeg? Do you want to help Edmonton?
Not particularly.
Do you want to help Montreal?
Yeah.
And how do you think they're going to feel about helping us?
Rhetorical question. I'm not even going to answer that.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think I'm really hoping it's a busy trade deadline. I think we might see a lot of trades across the border or across the river, as Suites like to
I
say.
love it. I'm starting to say that now, by the
Row
way.
your boat. But I don't see a lot of
hilarious.
moves happening in the North. And if they do, it's going to have to be that a team is willing to lose the player for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Which, like a recent player who I added to this list from Toronto would be Alexander Kerfoot.
Okay. You've got quite a few names on this list. Do you want to go down and to attack
Let's go through
these?
some of them.
Okay, let's go. Who do you have for number one?
So number one, I have Matthias Ekholm. He is a very good defenseman. He still has a year on his term. He's under $4 million a year at 3.75 on a cap hit,
Okay.
which realistically, to get a top 4 defenseman anywhere under $5 million, you're doing pretty well.
Okay.
So I could see him, same with David Savard for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's another one. Now, mind you, with him, he's a strictly rental player.
Okay.
Rental player meaning he has no term coming up, which a general manager like Kyle Dubas says he's actually looking for a rental player. So that might even move his stock a little bit up.
Okay.
But I don't know what Columbus is doing because they're in that hover spot where I don't think they want to give up, but they also aren't in a playoff spot as of
Yeah,
today.
I know. I was just reading that on TSN.ca earlier today. They have some stuff on Blue Jackets there.
And an interesting player, and this is one that I like the looks of, which I'm actually kind of surprised that people have been talking about, but he is on my list, Tanner Pearson.
I was going to you just read my mind, buddy. And the waves are going, the waves. Yeah.
Mike, you might want to get the fire extinguisher because we're about to explode here.
But fireball.
All right, people. But now Tanner Pearson, again, he's the strictly rental player.
Yeah.
But here's what I like about Tanner Pearson. He can play on your top 6. He can play on your bottom 6. He's good on your power play. He's a bigger body. If Vancouver's going to eat some of the salary, because if memory serves me right, the old noggin, I don't believe Vancouver's maxed to the cap.
Okay.
So let's say for a team like Vancouver, they might be interested in a Nick Robertson from Toronto for us to get a guy like Tanner Pearson who's ready to go now.
Okay. I have one more name I want to talk to you about. Eric Stahl.
He's been a player. Do you mean Mark Stahl, sorry?
I thought you had Eric on
Oh, I
there.
do have Eric.
Yeah.
So we mean.
I mean, you wrote the list. No, I'm just kidding.
I have both, okay?
I know
got
my eyes are
confuzzled.
terrible.
But
Okay.
Eric Stahl is someone, my brother, Dan,
Mm-hmm.
Dan Moore. Hello.
Hello, Daniel Moore.
He keeps saying the Leafs should get Eric Stahl. I don't see it. So you see him getting
That's
Eric
why
Stahl.
I wanted to bring Eric Stahl up. And I knew it was Eric, by the way. I know that Stahls, there's like so many Stahls in the
know.
NHL. It's kind of hard to keep up with them. Like, imagine having that family, like, holy proud parents. Anyways,
Right.
let's get back to Eric. Yes, Eric.
Now, I mean-
Toronto Maple Leaf Eric.
So do you get him and then not play Spezza? They basically take the same role. Now, unless you move a guy like Kerfoot to get a guy like Stahl, I mean, their salaries are actually almost identical. The Leafs would gain a little bit of cap space.
Yeah. What is that salary there? I can't see that.
Stahl is 3.25,
Okay.
where Kerfoot is, to me,
Yeah, there you go.
3.5.
What?
Yeah, he makes $3.5 million.
You really do not like him.
You know what? I don't mind him if he was maybe a $2 million player.
Oh.
I mind him in a $3.5 million player.
I thought you were going to say I wouldn't mind him if he wasn't a Toronto Maple Leaf.
Well, I mean, that too, but I actually defend him a lot in my apartment to my brother.
You do?
I do, but like his contract is what I
Interesting.
really don't like. But if we could maybe make a straight up swap, which that might work for Buffalo too, get a younger guy in. He has had some success with Toronto this year.
Mm-hmm.
Looked a heck of a lot better this year than last year.
Okay.
But maybe Stahl if we move another centerman. But if we don't move a centerman, I don't want to see Jason Spezza not being played.
Yeah, I
That's
agree
my
with
worry.
you. I do. We love Jason Spezza, don't we?
Mind you, though, I would like him in a Leaf jersey.
Yes,
Because like, he is a solid player, and he is a veteran.
And
He's been
he's
in the Cup
from
finals.
Ontario.
And let's get more Canadians on the Leafs,
Yeah,
right? Like, I mean,
absolutely.
remember Don Cherry used to always talk
Oh,
about that.
yeah, yeah.
And the Leafs have done that a lot more this year.
That's right.
But we're going to move off
Yeah.
trade deadline.
Stop talking so
To let
much.
everyone know quickly, though, we will be doing a pretty much full episode on trade deadline the week before.
Oh, yes,
So,
we
like,
will.
we're going to have, I'd say, probably 2 out of the 3 segments strictly on trade deadline because
Okay.
there's so much to go over.
look forward to that.
But
Let's talk about
we
the
need
Leafs.
to go over, not this sheet.
Not this sheet. It's Leafs and Flames. We need to
Oh,
talk
it's this
about-
sheet. Saw, dude.
Saw, dude.
We have a few games to preview for your Saturday. We have the Leafs versus the Flames. So let's just assume the Leafs win tonight on Friday. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, well,
So they're going to win,
that's gonna happen.
which means they're hoping to win 2 straight now. So they need strong goaltending from, I'm going to say Hutchinson, because I don't see Campbell playing. So I'm going to
Okay.
say Hutchinson. And I want to see the second line do more, unless maybe they're on fire tonight. We don't know yet. But I'm not a genie in a bottle. But
I'm a genie in a bottle.
that's what the Leafs need to do. For the Flames, we know the Flames are big, they're tough, they're strong.
Yeah.
The Leafs are not. So hit, and hit.
Hit. Okay, gotcha.
That's for that matchup. But we could talk about the Leafs and the Flames literally all day. We kind of
Absolutely.
do off camera. But let's get
Exactly.
into the Habs and the Canucks.
Okay.
This is a matchup that might even be watching closer. I mean, let's be honest, we're both Leaf fans.
I know.
We're saying go Canucks
I know.
because I'd
Oh,
love
yeah.
to see Montreal
Go
not in
Vancouver,
there.
go.
But for the Habs to win, we both love Carey Price. He's been playing a
We
lot
do.
better of late. Let's hope he keeps that up. And their strong defense. Their defense group is stronger than their forward group, but I think Vancouver could use that to their advantage.
Right.
Vancouver's fast.
They are fast.
So speed is key. Gotta go fast, but they're not Sonic.
Okay, all right.
Do
Sonic,
that.
Supersonic?
And I want to see Demko match Price. I actually think this could be a game to see as Demko moving in from good goalie to franchise.
Okay, cool. So we love some Price, but I'll tell you what, my last name is Linden, so I'm a Canucks fan forever. Trevor Linden. Yeah. Jets versus Oilers, we have a minute left.
So I'm going to say for the Oilers, they're going to want their top 6 to be flying because let's be honest, they don't have much else besides their top 6. And the Jets are not a physical team, and the Oilers are kind of like Calgary where they are, especially with Zach Kassian is no longer injured. He's back in the lineup. I'm saying they're going to also hit.
I want some graphics with that.
And then for the Jets, they're going to do a similar thing to what I said with the Canucks. Controlled dump-ins. And what I didn't like from the Jets versus the Oilers, they made Mikko Koskinen's night relatively easy.
Yeah.
Like, sure, he made 25 or 26 saves, not saying he didn't play well. Where was the traffic? Get some traffic in front of whoever's in net, probably Mike Smith.
Okay.
But, and then I think
see.
you got a better chance.
Okay, well
But-
let's sum up this today's show, okay? Greyhounds have the best logo. Toronto Maple Leafs are the best hockey team. Eric Stahl might wear a jersey. And what else? What else can we add? CFL goal.
CFL is a go.
Is a go.
The Leafs are going to win 2 straight, but we gotta go.
We gotta
So you
go.
know what?
Oh, it's over, folks.
See you next time
Have a
on
good one.
705 Sports.